And welcome to a simple guide, a simple beginner's guide of how to play Austria. So I'll start off on the T side and we'll look at the idea behind the map. So if you come this way, you go into mid or halls. You've got this sort of, I think this is called Old Street down here, which is quite important. The balcony up there, which the CTs can get to and peek you from. So if you're the type of person who likes to take engagements very early, you can come to this part of the map and clear here and there. If you don't see anything, you can move on to here and clear sort of these corners. But the most interesting part of this map to me is middle. So as a T, you can get into here before the B players can see you, which is nice, as long as you have a semi-decent spawn. You want to clear here first and towards here. It's unlikely a CT is going to be here, but they can catch you off guard if they do. And then sort of into here is where I would generally hold as a CT. You've got that enters into their spawn, and up there is a second entrance to B. And then if you go down here, obviously you have the second entrance into A. Mid is very, very important in this map, and as a T, a lot of what you want to do on the T side will revolve around getting control of it. So, for example, a very fast A split you can do is if you have 2 or 3 people go down long, which is down there, I'll show you in a little bit. And you want to come here, you'll want to smoke off this. You can pretty much just freehand it. Doesn't need to be perfect. And then you have this area here, which my friends like to call Fritzl. You can bounce a molly off that wall, and it's going to clear out most of that corner. If the CT pushes up to here, you'll have people splitting from here and here, and you'll kill him quite easily. Shouldn't get more than 1 from there. And then what you want to do is you'll have your long players come up there, and 2 of you will come down here. You'll clear this corner, even though you've mollied it. Oh, if you've mollied it, obviously you don't need to. Then you're going to want to come out of here. They can be on this corner. They might play here. Behind this box is quite common, and there are the most common spots. Occasionally you will see people play there. Often CTs will play 1 here and 1 on the site, or maybe 2 here, and one of them will cover this from like this sort of area or this position. But if you smoke off mid, it should be quite easy for you to isolate the 2 players on site. The 3rd player is probably covering this area and will rotate into CT. But once you kill the 2 players on site, this should be quite an easy cleanup after plant. And then once you get the plant on the A site, you'll want to smoke this off. Several spots you can plant. You can plant here, which is like a really safe plant. Here, which is planted for long. It's quite a big site. You can kind of plant wherever you want and wherever you have control of. One of the easiest things to do, obviously, is plant for long. Keep 1 player here. You can smoke off sort of this area if you have a smoke left. Watch behind, and it should be quite a simple after plant on that site. Coming up long, there's a few cool, interesting things you can do. So obviously you come to here, and there could be a player here peeking you. We'll get to that more on the CT side. Once you're comfortable, then not. You can actually do a triple boost here. I don't have other people here with me to show you, but you can triple boost over this wall and catch anyone out who's trying to AWP this angle here. This is a really common angle to hold, so if you can get your pre-fires down, that's a nice angle to check. This one you should always be checking. Check that. Check this, and then you'll just wait for your mid players to come through. You can even help them come in here and clear this angle. And then once you get on the site, as I say, you want to check this. You want to check that. Maybe check here. You can head glitch here as a CT. If you're comfortable, they're not in what I call Fritzl. Then you can sort of head glitch here. It's quite a nice angle. The other way you can split onto A, you can do a 3-way split. That's what I really like about this map, is if you don't smoke this off. So you have 2 players coming long, 3 players come through here, 2 of them go through here, and then you have 1 guy sort of set as a lurker. He'll clear out this angle here. And then what you want to do, you want to check this, because this is quite a difficult angle to deal with. You want to check these stairs, and you want to check here. And then you can actually lurk out into their spawn if you get your timing right. And then you can either catch the rotating B players here, or you can just backstab onto A, get yourself a free kill, and basically secure the round. Now this also doubles as an exit into B, as I've mentioned, and you can backstab B from here. But I think that's a lot more difficult to do, and it's a lot more difficult to do fast. If you are going to split B, what I would do through mid is you will come into here in the mid, you'll clear this as normal, and you'll try not to get AWP'd. And then you can just throw a really simple smoke like that. block off the player there, and then you'll have one player swing here, one here to trade, because they might AWP this angle. If you can trade it off, perfect. You'll clear all this as usual. You can smoke this as well if you have another smoke, and you can come up here, break this glass, which I've already broken while I was messing about earlier, and you can see a lot of the B site. You want to be checking these angles. You can help out your B players, because coming B on your own is pretty tough. As I mentioned, this is a place where you're probably going to take an early engagement if you're not careful. One thing I like to do is double nade this sort of area to stop any AWP pushing up. Get a teammate or two teammates to join you. You can probably freehand a smoke. I haven't learnt a very good smoke yet. That's decent enough because you can check this corner. It's unlikely they're going to be there. They're more likely to be on the bridge or all the way back there. I'll show you. This is a really powerful angle here for an AWP. Once that smoke goes, I'll show you why. So obviously you can see anyone crossing here, and the T's will have to go either here, like down this road, or up into the balcony, and you can see both of those. But also, if they do get onto the site, you have this angle. Wait, where is it? Yeah, no, sorry. This angle here, where you can see them get outside. You can get a kill, you can fall off, you can rotate, and you can move somewhere else. So as a T, if you can get this smoke down, you deny a lot of vision to that AWP, and he kind of has to play passively here. So often you'll see a CT on bridge, CT playing spawn, CT in the Fritzl area, CTA, and then a CT will be tasked with this. Now, one thing they can do if they get a good spawn is come up here and peek sort of this position and fall off. So you want to be very, very careful of that. It's quite difficult to pre-aim because they can pop up at anywhere above this balcony. And then often they'll back off and they'll play sort of this angle. They'll play close with a shotgun or an SMG. So you have to be very vigilant in clearing all of these little nooks and crannies in here. But if you can isolate them by smoking off the AWP there, and the AWP is forced to play passively, you can come to here, bounce a smoke off that back wall. Okay, no, that one hasn't quite worked. Bounce a smoke like that, block off that AWP's vision, and then you can get a plant down. You can plant pretty much anywhere on this site. One of the most common ones is in this corner here, because it's relatively safe. But if you have more control, you can plant there. If you can get into the mid balcony, which is that there, as we saw earlier, you can obviously plant for that balcony back here, and it's very, very difficult for the CTs to retake. If you have a post-plant AWP on the T side, you can sort of peek this angle where the CT is likely to hold it, and you can catch them rotating in, and you'll at the very least get some information. This is a really, really important angle on this site. Another good post-plant position is under this bridge here. The only issue is the floor is a little uneven, so it's quite difficult to get your crosshair placement correct. But as the T's rotate in, they're going to be looking up here, they're going to be looking up there. They might not check you here, and even if they do, it's quite a nice angle. So that is pretty. I mean, it's very, very quick as to what you want to do as a T, but you can see this part of the map, this little corridor here, is incredibly important because it gives you access to the balcony on B, gives you access to the CT spawn for triple splits. There's a B. If you're going B, you can split from here, from balcony, and from B main, or Old Street, and that's very, very difficult for CTs to hold off. And if you're doing an A split, you can split through here. You can split through the basement, and you can split through a long. So this is the most important part of the map. It's similar in that way to say to short or connector on overpass, and that if you have control of it, you have control of the whole map, and it's very, very difficult for whichever side. If you're on the CT side, it's very difficult for the Ts to do too much work without this part of the map. On the CT side, so you spawn in here, and if you're playing as a B player, one angle I would recommend is this one. If you play Dust 2, if you play short with an AWP, you can sit on that ledge and watch short and fall off. This is pretty similar. So as they come around, you take a shot, you can fall off into here. You can reposition to here to stop a B split. You can look up there, you can move to here, or you can simply reposition up here into a more defensive angle. Watch the T's coming out of here. If you're the B player, I must confess I don't play on B too much, but you can play sort of here, watch the cross. You can obviously go up to the balcony. You can play if you have a close range gun. You can play sort of here, here. You could also probably play an off angle. I don't think you can be seen if you crouch here, which would be a pretty nasty off angle to deal with as a T. You can peek from here, obviously, and there. But do be careful because there's a lot of different angles it could peek you from here. So if you get a pick, do not re-peek, don't stay there. Back off, deal with your advantage. Obviously, that bridge position is really powerful. If you get smoked off, don't be afraid to reposition, come to here. Maybe just cover this for your apps player, so they can't get killed from behind. What you really need to do is, if you're playing here and your mid player dies, you want to rotate to here and you want to watch this, just so they can't split through your spawn. As an A player, one thing me and a friend like to do is you have one player in here, and at the start of the round, when you get to about here, the T's will be sort of close to this wall. I often just sort of hold like this, or like this, just play an off angle, get one or two headshots, and then draw attention for your guy on site to peek out. But one thing you can do is have your site player sort of play on this corner and get them to flash for you like that, and then you can peek out from this angle, maybe get a kill. That's probably a little bit far, that flash actually. But you see the idea. You can sort of workshop that flash. That might be a bit better. Yeah, that's a better flash. And that'll flash anyone sort of coming up here for a fast split. You could peek out of here, get one kill, back off down here. If you are going to play here, it's a pretty intense position. You have to know, like you'll want to be in constant communication, I should say, with your mid player. You'll want to, if you know this is clear, if you have an AWP posted the back of triple. We call this triple just because it looks like every other triple. So if you have an AWP here, you can be pretty confident that there's nobody there. You can take a peek from here into mid. Be very, very careful actually of this angle. So often you'll get teased. If you haven't checked mid at the start of the round, they'll come and sit here. And they'll just wait for you to push, or they'll try and get some timing, peeking you here. Yeah, you can peek with an AWP here. But I wouldn't recommend playing an AWP in this position because you will have to be switching angles a lot. If you're going to AWP from the bridge, maybe AWP from mid, you can take this peek, but you have to be very, very quick because by the time you get here, they can also be like here. So you have to be very quick. It's quite T-sided, that part of the map, because they get the timing. You spawn closer to it. So it's probably easier to hold this angle, take a shot, back off, play here, or play on the stairs. But I think you should definitely try and keep control of this position, and if not, you've got to be in this room, because if the T's get control of this, you're fucking done. Like, you've got no chance. That's a pretty simple idea. You'll want so if you have normally you'd have an M4 here, but you'll want to check sort of this angle at the start. It's for an A rush. If you get smoked out, which is pretty simple to do if you're running A. So if you're running A, as this is a pretty good pistol strat as well. So you'll have your Glock. You get one player by a smoke. You just smoke. That was bad because I ran into that. But you'll just smoke this on the fly, and then you'll just swing here. CT pistol, I would always play 2 on the A site because it's very simple to just smoke this and just run down here, clear all these close corners, and if the USP doesn't get like 2 immediately, they're going to get swarmed by Glocks. And I think that's the easiest pistol strat in the game. Alternatively, you can buy a smoke this, and just A split, because this is a very, very difficult angle to hold with USPs. Might be worth buying a CZ to hold that, and you can A split very, very easily on a T-side pistol. But anyway, that was not what we're going to. So you want to hold sort of this angle maybe, or this, just to help out your A site player. Once they're in position, you can sort of back off. Hold maybe this, kind of like in Secret on Nuke, if you've ever played much Nuke, you want to like head glitch on these stairs. If your mid player, if your mid player sees something, you can switch here quite easily. You can kill one there. You can kill here. You can get overwhelmed quite easily, obviously, but you want to have a very, very good CT player in this position. You can have a sight anchor on A, because I don't think A is a particularly intensive position. It's quite difficult. If you play A site Mirage, you'll know what to do. It's very, very similar. I think that basically covers most of the simple concepts of the map. And what you want to be looking to do as a T, what you want to be looking to hold as a CT. So very, very briefly, you'll play one in either here or more defensively here, watching the spawn. You'll want to play one here, and you'll want to play one on the B site, one on the A site, and one in the basement. As a general default, you can go for the aggressive plays by, as I say, we've got this flash play. It's quite simple. Don't think that's gone far enough. Maybe. That's a really simple one. You can obviously do some sort of flash, pop flash from mid, and then get your mid player to peek. Something like that. The other easy CT aggression is to flash from here. And so if you have your B player with an AWP or something up there, you can flash this corner. That's got a little far. Yeah, so you want to flash that corner. Your guy up there can peek. He can get a kill. He can back off. And you can take the man advantage. It's quite a simple map, Austria. It looks quite difficult at first and mid. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you do, it's a pretty simple map. It's kind of similar to Inferno in a way. And it's a lot of fun, honestly. I would recommend everyone try it a couple of times. See if you like it. You'll quickly learn all the angles people can be in. And I think it's a map that actually deserves a lot more love and attention. The only little annoying things like the uneven floor here, which makes like headshotting people in CT quite difficult. But yeah, you'll learn how to play it pretty quickly, I think, and you'll just learn that this is the short connector of the map. So yeah, thank you all. I hope you learned something about how to play Austria, and I hope to see you all playing Austria pretty soon. Thank you very much.